All right, welcome y'all. Thanks for joining me. I just want to quickly do a short video on how to make an easy roast in the crock pot. Really doesn't take a lot. It's probably one of our family's favorite meals, and you can do it with any cut of meat. You know, typically what we do for like a deer or a goat is save the back strap and the tenderloins and do steaks with those. For everything else, we've been doing a lot of jerky this year. A lot of this roast recipe in the crock pot, and some other things with it like ground beef. So if you're in the mindset of just wanting an easy meal that you can pull out of the freezer and put in a crock pot and let it go, this is the type of meal for you. Literally what I'm doing is taking out what I think is a good size of meat from the shoulder or the hind quarter or whatever part of meat, and I'm just packaging them and freezing them in a size that's going to be good for this roast meal, and with a little bit of leftovers. And then we're just pulling it out. You can see we thawed it out right here, and I've got it in the crock pot already, and it's just super easy. The whole meal takes like a couple minutes to put together. So you pull it out, thaw it out. I just rinsed it off again in the sink, and then what we have here are the two mixes that we're going to put on it. We like this onion dry soup and dip mix, and this ranch seasoning that goes with it as well. And I've got them, right here, and all I'm doing is putting it right on the meat. So it doesn't really matter which one you put first. You could just cover it all up. Use about the whole package or nearly so, depending upon the amount of the meat that you got in there. Now we'll follow up with the ranch seasoning. You just want to make sure you got uniform coverage. And you guys would not believe how tender this meal comes out. It's phenomenal. So I got a little bit more left in there. And then what I'm going to do is put some butter. I just went ahead and cut up, it's one of the short sticks, I just went ahead and cut up in thirds in this instance, and I'm just going to put it on each piece of the meat that I got in here. And I'll see if I can find it. What did I do with the peppers? Where are the papers? And then what we got here is just some pepperoncini peppers that we're going to put in here. So I'm going to set this down for a second, unbox this. And this meal is great. Typically what we're doing is and I'm just going to put these right on. Some of the juice is really good to put in there as well. Turn the camera to make sure you can see it. And then about a third of the can usually, whatever you guys end up liking. But this gives it a really good flavor. You can't really overdo it with the peppers, but usually I'd say about a third of the jar. And then that's probably good, right there. And then I'd say, I'd also, just to help out some of that seasoning, develop some of the juices, it helps to pour just a little bit in there as well. And as that butter melts, it's going to mix with the juices, and it's going to create this great flavor. So that was it. That's dinner. It's that quick. Put the lid on, turn it on the 8-hour setting right here, and then basically just let it run. Alright y'all, here's the end product. So we're going to do the lid here. Got a couple forks, and let's just see how it's looking. It's looking good in there. Got a slow simmer going on. Just see how nice it pulls apart. I don't know if you can see that with the lighting, but that's pretty good. I'm not really applying any tension or force right there, and that stuff's just falling apart, man. You can get a good sense of how juicy good that looks. And that's all she wrote. The only thing I did after turning it on from the last video was just, you can get a spoon and bathe the juices in it to make sure all that seasoning is covered. Or you can just flip the meat at some point throughout the cooking process and Make sure that both sides are done. So it's going to cook regardless, but sometimes if you don't flip it, the seasoning could stay dry when the butter melts because it doesn't fully cover it. But that's it. Usually goes well with mashed potatoes and vegetables and anything else you'd like. Enjoy.